Hi, my name is Jack Davidson, and today I'm the affirmative speaker for why the U.S. should devote way more resources and troops and manpower to defeating ISIS. To give you a little background information on what ISIS is, they're basically an Islamic State. They're a caliphate, or a khalifa, established by Jihad Islams in 2014. Although they actually had a history as far back as 1999 when they were first created. They were known as the JTG, or JTJ. It's an abbreviation for something I can't really pronounce, but it basically stands for the Organization of Monotheism and Jihad. They later changed names in 2014, swearing allegiance to Osama bin Laden. During that time, they were what we were all familiar with. They were called Al-Qaeda. In 2006, they became ISI, which is the Islamic State of Iraq. And then they changed again in 2013 after expanding into Syria, basically defining themselves now as ISIS, or the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. The thing with the ISIS is they want to create a caliphate based on an ideology that is unrealistic and totally basically insane. According to Max Fisher, a boxing journalist, on July 4th, 2014, 42-year-old Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi delivered a sermon in a mosque in the city of Mosul after militants had overrun it just weeks earlier. He basically declared himself the caliph, or the king of basically all Muslim people. The problem with that is that when you declare yourself king of every single Muslim in the entire world, you're going to be a total totalitarian and basically demand everything as Islam. You may be asking yourself, why are jihadists so obsessed with the idea of a khalifa? Basically, jihadists see the khalifa as the height of Islam's glory, as a banner of Islamic nationalism. More than that, the jihadist extremists see the caliphate as the answer to the past centuries of subjugation and humiliation under the hands of the Western powers. They basically want to frame the jihadist movement as the rebirth of the khalifa, in a way to assert themselves as by religious right stronger than the Western powers. The problem with the Islamic extremists is that they basically want to exterminate people that are even close to them, such as the Yazidi people. Reports that Islamic militants have trapped up to 40,000 members of Iraqi ethnic, religious, and minority communities from some of the most ancient times of Iraq and their ancient roots. This has spurred U.S. consideration of militarily-led humanitarian action. According to Raya Jalib, Iraqi journalist, the government images of brutally slain people have emerged since this horrible invasion, and local officials say that at least 500 Yazidis have been murdered, including 40 women and children, and many more threatened. According to Adam Winthal, journalist of the UK, The Independent, the bodies were reportedly found in a mass grave in the wake of the ISIS push towards Sinjar mountain range, where tens of thousands of Kurdish-speaking refugees have been targeted and trapped to the point of starvation. Mohammed Shia al-Sudani, human rights minister of Iraq, basically states this as a genocide in a literal and legalistic sense. The main issue with ISIS is that they will never stop. It's kind of just the core of their beliefs. You get the impression that ISIS fighters aren't killing for fun or profit. They're not killing to protect themselves against other crazy people. Instead, they're simply killing because they're utopians. They want to live in a world that's quite literally cleansed of those who cannot share their deranged beliefs. And by killing Yazidis, Christians, and other members of religious minorities, they believe they're asserting a noble and just cause. What the U.S. really needs to do to fight ISIS is increase the size of the military force. According to Max Boot and Janine Kirkpatrick, Council of Foreign Relations Press, the current force, even with the recent addition of 1,500 troops for a total of 2,900 troops, is inadequate. Estimates of necessary troop size range from 10,000, according to General Anthony Ghazini, former head of the Central Command, to 25,000 troops, according to acclaimed military analysts Kim and Fred Kagan. The total number should include special forces units, Department of Local Forces, as well as logistical intelligence, security, and air contingents and support. So basically, we need to go all in. We need every single part of our military to help in defeating ISIS. It's going to take actual ground troops, though, is the main thing. Countries that remain hesitant to engage the terror group by putting boots on the ground may find other possibilities, such as special forces taking out high leadership positions, considering ISIS is a small hierarchical organization. The problem with that is, though, according to Max Boot and Jean Kirkpatrick again, and Policy Innovation Memorandum number 51, President Obama has not allowed the special forces to embed themselves in the Syrian army or the Iraqi army. Experience in fighting with the Northern Allegiance in Afghanistan several years ago has shown us that the combat advisors fighting alongside these Iraqis and indigenous troops are far more effective than simply training them to leave behind. And in fact, between 2003 and 2010, the Joint Special Ops composed of such teams such as SEAL Team 6 and Delta Force actually became pretty skilled at the networks of Al-Qaeda and tracking down individuals by interrogating prisoners, scooping up computers and documents and stuff, something that simply airstrikes and bombings cannot do. The squadrons were actually able to take down people such as Osama bin Laden, one of the most wanted man in the world, basically. And so with these soldiers, it's estimated by John McCain, Washington Senator Republican, that on Thursday, February 19th, students will need to send around 10,000 troops to fight Iraq. He says that on MSNBC, we must send troops to fight ISIS, and we must do a lot of things that we're not doing now. We're going to stop this horrific murder that occurs. He called for the formation of an Arab-American joint force to fight against ISIS and the Syrian regime, indicating that the size of the military does not necessarily have to be that large to fight them.